Hey, what's cracking? How are you doing today? Hope this video finds you doing well. I hope that you, my friend, have everything going your way. I'd like to thank you for clicking on the video. If you've never watched one before, my name is RickeyJosephDye, and I went to prison when I was 15 years old in the state of Oklahoma for murder. I was there for 20 and a half years before I got out. Can't do anything to change my past, but what I can do is share the experience in the hopes that it'll keep someone else from having the same experience. I share everything that happened to me in the hopes that it'll never happen to you. You'll enjoy my videos best if you'll start at the beginning, because that's where I started when I was 15 years old. What it was like to be in a situation where a man lost his life. How it is that you're certified as an adult at the age of 15 and 14 and sent on to prison with grown men, even though you're still just a kid at the time. What happens to those kids when you send them off to prison? So that's what my story's about, and if you can respect that, hey man, go catch up with the videos, because today I'm going to jump right back into my story at Granite. So as soon as I got to Granite, and it's important to tell you that every prison is different. There are approximately 10 to 12 medium security prisons at any time in the state of Oklahoma. You've got Granite, Connors, Stringtown, Joe Harp, Crabtree, Lexington, and then you've got several private prisons. At any time, any given yard, they can come in there and say, okay, this is a dangerous yard. Everybody here are the people that keeps messing up all the time. We got all the knotheads here, and they'll just go to shipping you all different places throughout the system until they flip that yard over. And they'll have one yard that's for 40 and over. Be on that yard, you got to be 40 years old and stay out of trouble all the time. They'll put you over on that yard with a bunch of people that don't really get in trouble. But if you're a knothead, you like to do drugs, or you like to sell drugs, or you like to fight, well, they got a couple yards for you too. Unfortunately for me, that's the yard I always ended up on. So I was at Joseph Harp, close to my home, the easiest yard in the system. Joseph Harp is where they put all the child molesters. Everybody who's caught out, which when you catch out, that means that you go to the guards and you tell them that you feel like your life's in danger. You either owe money, or somebody's picking on you, or you feel like somebody's going to hurt you. And you can sign a piece of paper where they won't put you with that person anymore. It's called a separatese. And once you've been going to this place and you filed a separatese on somebody and caught out, and then you went to this place and did it again, because once you catch out once, usually you're going to have to keep catching out. Because whenever you first catch out, you're going to get to another yard, and then someone's going to show up and know you and say, hey, that guy caught out over at so-and-so. And so now you're going to have heat on you again. So you're going to catch out again. And eventually you get it where you can't go nowhere else. So if you keep catching out all the time, you're likely to end up at Joseph Harper, Lexington. Because that's where they keep everybody who is always running from trouble, or people who are in for child molestation or a rape charge. Something's going to get them hurt. They put them on those yards to protect them. Because I was so close to going home, and because my second cousin had been the warden at Lexington and did a little buddy trade and swapped me out, and I was at Joe Hart, and there's child molesters everywhere. I have maybe one friend on the whole yard. Because when they put you on that yard, they'll only put you on that yard if they know you can't afford to get in trouble. And I was within about a year of going home. So I couldn't afford to go beating child molesters up. But they had a riot over at Granite. Some guys got killed. So they're doing just what I told you. They're pulling everybody up who had anything to do with it, or anybody who was friends with the people that were involved, to make sure that there can be no repercussions. They're shipping people everywhere, all over the place, but they need somebody to fill those beds. So they come pull me up off the yard and tell me they're shipping me to Granite because I'm an undesirable inmate. So they take me from the easiest yard in the system, put me on the roughest yard in the system. As soon as I get there, I'm walking up there. There's 11 of us pulled up on the bus, but only 2 of us would go to the yard. All of the other 9 guys caught out immediately. They took us downstairs in the office, and the chief of security comes down there and says, I need to know how many of you are willing to go to the yard. Me and one black guy raised our hand. We're the only ones brave enough to go out there. As soon as I get to the unit, white guy comes up, puts his arm around me, pulls me up to his cell, and tries to hand me a knife. I'm like, damn, brother, I need that shit. I'm less than a year from going home. I don't want a knife. I don't hate black people. What do I need a knife for? Man, brother, 2 black guys just got killed over here, and it doesn't matter if you're friends with them, because when the shit goes down, they'll just start stabbing all the white guys. And I'm like, shit, at this point, man, I would rather get caught without one than with one. Damn, usually I say I'd rather get caught with it than without it. But shit, man, I'm less than a year from going home. I've been locked up 19 years. I really want to go home bad. And at this time, I think I would rather get stabbed a few times as long as I live than to stab someone and stay in there for another 20 to life. I'm willing to take the chance that hopefully I don't get hurt. Maybe these black guys that I've been doing time with all these years, maybe they won't stab me. But it's just, on a yard like that, see, a lot of yards, people don't give a shit what you do. There's some yards where a black guy and a white guy can go sit down in the chow hall and eat lunch together, and nobody will say a word. Maybe the real racist white guys will look down their nose at you for doing that, but no one's going to try to hurt you. But at Granite, everyone has their own table. You've got tables that belong to the Universal Aryan Brotherhood, and you can't go and sit at that table unless they invite you to it. You got a table for the prospects for the Aryan Brotherhood. Then you got tables for the Indian Brotherhoods, and then you got tables where the gangs set for the Mexicans. So on this side of the chow hall is all blacks. On this side is whites, Mexicans, and Indians. It takes all the whites, Mexicans, and Indians to equal the numbers of how many blacks are in there. So even though blacks don't make up most of the community, they do make up a large part of the prison system. So I see why they bitch about that shit. It is a lot harder on them than it is on white guys, I have to admit. I don't worry when I get pulled over by police, even though with my crime, I don't really worry that much because I know I'm not doing anything wrong, and I don't think they're going to do me just real bad the way I've seen some of the stuff on the news here lately. So I can understand where those guys are coming from, man. And I'll never forget when I was at Granite that last year, man, that last time I was there, I was getting ready to go home, and I brought up the tables in the chow hall for a reason. It was Christmas, my last Christmas in prison. And they took us down to get our Christmas meal. On Christmas Day, they'll give you a meal, a Christmas meal. You'll have turkey and ham, and they'll give you a lot of food. You'll have a lunch tray and a sack lunch for at night because they won't feed you dinner on Christmas because you get such a big meal when you come in at lunch. And they'll give you a sack lunch to take home for that evening. And I'll never forget that Christmas because of this. We come up in the chow hall. And everyone sits at their own tables every time. We're not in the chow very long. You got to get in and out. When you get ready to go to chow because somebody just got killed, they have everybody come down to the door in a little gang. And then they'll have these wands, metal detectors, that they wand you with to make sure you don't have metal on you. You step through the door and they pat search you. Then they do that wand on you to make sure you don't have a weapon. And they're walking you across the yard with beanbag guns and shit and things to shock you with. Making sure everybody stays in line. It's real militant. Like a concentration camp or some shit, man, because they just had a killing. Now they're real serious, and then they're walking us to chow, one unit at a time. So when you get in there, you get 5-10 minutes to eat, and you got to go. So you better hurry and eat your shit. But me, I didn't sit with the Aryans. I didn't sit with the prospects. I didn't sit with the Indians or the Mexicans. I sat by my damn self. I have my own table. And it was Christmas Day, and we went in to eat, and I got in there, coming to my table, and there's 3 guys sitting at my table. Guys that had just come on the yard that don't know no better. They don't know that everybody's got certain tables. And the first thing that happens, the guys, it's the Indian Brotherhood, Big Honka, Michael Mackey for the UAB, them guys, they start teasing me. Look at there, Ricky Dye, those Skinners took your table. Those Skinners took your table. What are you going to do, Ricky Dye? Those Skinners took your table. Man, I felt like I was in a movie or something, like I was watching some kind of movie when I walked up to that table and told those guys. I walked up and sat down and I said, hey guys, I know y'all don't know this, but everybody has their tables here. I said, see those empty tables over there? Anybody can sit over there, but this right here, this is my table. I'll never forget how I felt saying that this is my table. Penitentiary ass table is my table. But I told them, this is my table. And at this yard, you have to ask permission to sit with someone at their table. I said, so they was like, they all started getting up. And I'm like, hey, hold on, man. Y'all go and sit back down, man. You can sit here this meal. But next meal, man, y'all going to have to sit over there. So I let them dudes sit and eat Christmas dinner with me. But the next time they come in, they were at that other table I pointed at. And I'll never forget how I felt that day doing that. And I was sitting there looking down at my tray eating, thinking about what it was like for my family that day. I thought, yeah, all my family's together at my uncle's or my grandma's, and they're all having Christmas dinner together, and they're loading their trays down and laughing and having a good time. And I'm sitting here telling these three guys they can't sit at my table. It didn't make me feel very high on myself. And I swore that day that it would be my last Christmas that I ever spent locked up. That I was going to do better. I was going to get out of there and I was going to do better and I was going to go home. And I was never coming back again. This video won't be real long. I wanted to get into some other things with you today. Stray just away from prison just a bit. I got some thank yous. One LTHNK, something like that, gave us super thanks. So did NBC Kicks. So did Greg Gowden. So did Rob Johnson. All those guys did super thanks, and I want to thank you. But I have a very big thank you for Ben Seaborn. Again, you guys all know how Ben has stuck by me, how much he's helped me. You also know I'm going through a separation right now. And I've been asked by Monica not to bring her up in my videos. So out of respect for her, I won't anymore. But I just want to let everyone know that breakups are never easy. But sometimes things just don't work out. Feelings get hurt and things can't be forgotten. And it's no one's fault. But Monica, you hear about these bad exes that do all these terrible things. But Monica never has done nothing bad to me. Monica went out of her way and didn't take as much money as she could have the first month. She wanted to make sure she didn't put me in a bad spot. And she's been nice all the way through it. So sometimes things just don't work out. But Monica's done nothing wrong. And I want to make that very clear, that she could have made things worse for me, and she's chose not to. But I talked about being stranded here on foot and what it's like, man, walking back and forth in this little house every day, man, with nothing to do. And it's almost like solitary confinement. And I was saying, man, this shit is worse than prison, man. I got really down, and that's the reason I hadn't made any videos, man. I've been really depressed. And I try to pick up my blessings because I know that I have many blessings to pick up. I'm very lucky because I have a home. A lot of people don't have a home. Sometimes when the wife and the husband get split up, the guy gets nothing. I ended up with a home. I still have a home, a roof over my head. And I'm free. And I can go in there and eat what I want in my kitchen. And I can take a shower when I want. And I can watch what I want on TV. And I have a PlayStation. So it's a lot better than prison in that sense. But on the other hand, at least when you're in prison and you got nothing and you're broke, everyone else is broke and got nothing too. It's a lot easier when everyone where you look around doing just as bad as you are, you don't feel like you're doing as bad. But when you're here in this little old house, and it is an old house, and you're looking around, everybody else got a nice truck and a nice car, and they can go get in their vehicle and go where they want when they want to go there, and your wife's gone, you got no car, it's pretty easy to get down. So even though I try to pick up my blessings, I have been depressed. But I told Ben, man, this is terrible just sitting here on foot, not being able to go nowhere. And he said, I'm going to help you, brother. I'm going to help you get you some wheels. And day before yesterday, he did just that. He sent me the money. He loaned me $1,500 to go and buy me a used car. So I get on Facebook Marketplace, and I find this guy, and he's got an 05 Chevy Malibu. Tells me it runs and drives, man. It's a little older, you know. You're going to need to do a little maintenance on it. It's a mechanic's dream, man. But it starts, you can drive it home. And he's in Mustang, and I'm in McLeod, so it's an hour drive. So I said, well, I'm going to bring my brother. He's a mechanic, and we're going to look at it. My little brother's top-notch mechanics. Come with me, tell me if I ought to buy this car. So we get up there in Mustang about 8 o'clock at night, man. And we're up there in the dark trying to look over this car. And you can tell it's got a little mist to it. But my brother said, well, that little mist can cause this or that. But, you know, we get the spark plugs or something might be able to fix that. So we decide that we think we want the car. But we're going to come back the next day in the daylight. I got to put insurance on the car. In Oklahoma, if you buy a used car, you can drive it without a tag for 28 days as long as you have a bill of sale and the title. So I wrote up a bill of sale, had him sign his name to it. Talked him down to $1,400 because we realized when we come back to get it, the alternator was no good. Neither was the battery. So I talked him down to $1,400. He takes my money, drives off. We get in that car and make it 1 mile, and it overheats and dies. So dudes didn't lie to me. He told me they drove this car from the other side of Oklahoma City to Mustang where it was parked at. I called him back and said, dude, you just lied your ass off. I told you that someone loaned me that money from a video that I made to try to help me have a better life. And you took every penny I had and lied to me, dude. You told me they drove that car from the city over there to Mustang. There's no way they drove that car. We didn't make it a mile. So we're going to have to get a battery. We realize this alternator is no good at all. So we're thinking, well, if we can at least get a battery, we can keep it started. Now it's overheating. Maybe we just drive it a little bit at a time and try to get it home, because tow fee's going to be $200. I only have $1,500. I gave $1,400 for the car. So we can't get the sumbitch start. And with no battery, you can't get it in neutral. It won't go in neutral. So it's stuck right in the middle of the road, man. We can't even get it off the road. It's got no title on the car. So we know police come, we're in trouble. I mean, it ain't illegal, but he's definitely going to ask some questions because there's no tag on the car. No tag at all. No plate, period. So I take the car and I run to Mustang, the city of Mustang. I go to O'Reilly's, buy a battery. And before I can get back, the police has done pulled up on my little brother, Sonny. Jammed him up. What are you doing? Where's the tag from that car? Why ain't that car got a plate on it? Did you steal this car? Stay right there. Don't move. Being real shitty with my brother, man. So my brother says, no, we just bought the car. It's died. We can't put it in neutral without a battery. My brother's gone to get the battery. About that time, I pull up and I say, hey, sorry about it. He cuts me off before I can even finish talking. He says, just get up there and handle your business. He was a real jerk, man. He was looking to cause trouble with someone. Could have just as easily asked us. We were going to do whatever he says. He didn't have to be rude to us, but he was rude to me and my brother. So we get the battery in it, get it started. My brother's like, man, by the time we get home, it's going to kill that battery. I don't know if we can make it or not. So I still had a couple $100 left in my wallet to fix this car up with. Really, I had $200 left to put the title in my name, to go and put it all in my name, get a plate and tag for it so I could drive it legally. I already put insurance on it, so as long as I had insurance and a bill of sale and the title, I could drive it for 28 days. But my plan was to go straight to Mustang Tag Agency, take that $200 I had and tag it for $150. But then we find out the alternator's dead. So now I got to get an alternator. So we find a place called Jerry Stars and Alternators in Mustang, and they have the alternator for sale. And they want $150 for it. So we drove right over there, and while we're right there at the place where we bought it, they let us use tools and everything. And my brother changed the alternator right there on the spot. So now we can keep starting the car, but it keeps overheating about every mile or two. By the time I get a mile and a half or so, that sucker's plumbing the red, dude. You got to pull over and park it and just sit there 15, 20 minutes, wait on it to cool down. You can't keep driving it. If it's too hot, it's going to burn the motor up. So I had to either try to find somewhere to borrow $200 to get it towed back to the house, or I just have to drive 2 miles, pull over and wait 20 minutes. Drive 2 miles, pull over and wait 20 minutes. And if you ever been broke, you're a broke country boy like me, boy, you know I had to do just that, because I didn't have $200 for the tow. I didn't spend every penny I had on the battery and the car and the alternator. So we keep doing that every little bit, every little bit. Well, we got about halfway, and we got out to put some water in it. And my brother was squeezing on the hose and stuff, on the radiator hose, and kind of burped it and got some air out of it. And then once we started back driving, it didn't overheat again as long as I kept it to 30 to 40 miles an hour. So we drove 25 miles, 30 miles an hour, with him driving behind me, trying to stay close to me so the police won't keep pulling me over because I don't have a tag. We didn't even make it past Mustang, and another police pulls us over. Gives me a warning. Eventually, we get the damn car home. And my brother stayed up till midnight last night running compression checks and every kind of check you can think of, making a list of everything that was wrong with the car. This morning, I went and got spark plugs, coil pack, plug wires. I had to buy a wheel bearing for the front right tire. But let me tell you right now, that thing is purring like a kitten. I could drive it right now, but it ain't got a tag on it at all. And the police keep pulling me over, so I'm just going to wait till I get paid on the 1st, and I'll have that $150 to tag it. And I'll have me a legal car, and I'll be able to come and go as I want, have my own home. My woman's gone, but never know, you know. Things happen for a reason, so we'll see what happens. I want to thank you guys for watching my videos, man. A lot of you guys have checked on me, asked me how I'm doing, hope I'm doing okay. You know I'm going through that little separation, and I appreciate you guys checking on me, man. I really do. And the next video will not take me that long to post. It's just that, you know, if I can't get on here and talk about it and tell you, pick them blessings up and get your head up, man, then I bet, and my mama said if you can't say nothing nice, don't say nothing at all. So that's what I've been doing. I couldn't say nothing nice, so I just wasn't going to say nothing at all. But I hope you guys are doing well, man. Shout out to the riders and the dyers. Riders keep riding till the wheels fall off, and the dyers keep riding even when they do. The truth is, all you guys are some riders and dyers with me, man. I thank you guys, each and every one of you who have checked on me, who have reached out. Mike Bradley, there's several of you guys. Brandon Lee, Brandon Bonds, John Doe, Roger Williams. He's going to drive all the way up here and check on me. That guy right there, he's the reason I made the video tonight. He told me to make sure I make a video tonight and tell you guys about that car if I didn't have nothing else to talk about. So, John Doe, a.k.a. Roger Williams, this one was for you, buddy. May God bless, keep, and protect each and every one of you guys. Till I see you again. Peace out.